Hello and welcome to KXII 12 News Now. My name is Robin Key. It is 12:30 this Thursday, October 2nd. Thank you for joining us for your midday news update. Now let's get into your local headlines. Several vehicles and one family's home were targeted by burglars in Marshall County. Around 1:30 early Tuesday morning, the Skinner family was awakened when intruders busted a window into their detached game room. They then went towards the family home.
And he threw the cue ball at this door, but the cue ball did not come all the way through. It just shattered it. So our bedroom happens to be right here, and my wife got out of bed, heard a noise, so she came and she got right here, and then that rock came flying through that door, and glass and so forth sprayed her.
Skinner says that this is not the first time their residence was broken into by the same intruders. The police have caught the 4 minors involved. Lamar County Sheriff's Office is looking for someone they suspect for theft. They say 33-year-old Zachariah Johnson is wanted for felony theft of property. He's 5'11" and they say that he is now bald. If you've seen him or know where he is, call the Lamar County Sheriff's Office. You can remain anonymous. More emergency services are now available to Texomans. How emergency medical services will now be fully serving residents outside the city limits. Up until now, fire rescue responded to county service calls only within fire services, while cities such as Whitewright, Sherman, and Van Alstyne provided EMS coverage to unincorporated areas. But as of yesterday, Howe will be fully providing both fire and EMS services by dispatching their mobile intensive care unit alongside their fire trucks. They hope that this makes quicker response times for residents outside of some of Grayson County's city limits.
Well, this is we mutual aid, so we do assist them with that, but this is going to be our first time that it's going to be our responsibility and our time to take care of it. We have been running it with the fire side of things for a number of years previous.
Howe EMS will now be serving unincorporated areas, including areas up to Sherman and Tom Bean Line, and past 289 towards Gunter and South Maid. Day 2 of the partial government shutdown, and Republicans and Democrats continue to point fingers. Hundreds of thousands of federal employees are expected to be furloughed, including most employees at the Department of Education, Labor, and the Department of Environmental Protection. Republicans want to extend funding at current levels, but Democrats are holding out for concessions on health care, including extensions of Affordable Care Act subsidies and reversals of cuts to Medicaid. With the federal government shut down for the first time since 2018, everything, including federal funding, is put on pause. For benefits programs like SNAP and WIC, the longer the shutdown, the more problems will arise. SNAP benefit funds are likely to last about a month post-shutdown. Funding for WIC may run out even faster. If the benefits run dry during the shutdown, residents may turn to local food banks for help, but food bank personnel say there's already a strain in the system.
In a worst case scenario, we might have to stop offering food boxes 7 days a week and possibly go to 4 days a week. So there would be more demand and less food to go around.
More funding bills failed to pass yesterday. Here in Texoma, the Hangerman National Wildlife Refuge had to close down their visitor center. The park says that all it has limited staff on hand just to deal with emergencies. Visitor center is closed, but the land itself is still open. Oklahoma Attorney General Gunter Dundman has ordered an investigative audit of the State Department of Education. Dundman sent a letter to the state auditor asking for an investigation into the department's spending between January 2023 and September 30th of 2025. Dundman says that current and former staff were concerned about the spending practices under former Superintendent Ryan Waltersip's leadership. This investigation comes after Walters' public resignation from the position. Texas Attorney Ken Paxton is launching an investigation himself to determine if new tax rate increases in Whitesboro and Tom Bean are legal. In a letter, he cited Senate Bill 1851, which took effect at the beginning of September. It prohibits municipalities from improving massive rate hikes without certain auditing requirements. Earlier this week, Whitesboro approved a 51% property tax increase despite warnings from Representative Shelley Luther that it would be breaking the law. A new grocery store is coming to Durant. Officials with the grocery chain Aldi confirmed it is opening a store in town. No word on location, but job listings state the store is expected to open early next year. The announcement comes a month after Albertsons confirmed it too is opening a grocery store in Durant. Now, it is National Manufacturing Month, and the Ardmore Development Authority is recognizing local manufacturing employees. Manufacturing is a huge asset to Ardmore, with over 3,000 employees at companies like Michelin, Bluebonnet, and EJ. They bring an average earning of over $100,000. So the Ardmore Development is taking their appreciation to social media throughout the month. They plan to give Ardmore residents a better insight into what these employees do and how they help Ardmore's manufacturing industry to thrive.
Making sure the public and the community knows it's not just the company, it is the employees, and how the employees really do bring the success to each company.
With recent closures like Michelin and Flanders, they say that employee appreciation is needed now more than ever. We can expect to get a look inside of these companies until the end of the month, where then they will host a manufacturer's dinner as a thank you. We're just a little over a week away from the Red River rivalry at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, and renovations to the venue have been completed just in time for the game. The $140 million project at the Cotton Bowl added 14 escalators, more concessions, and a new club level. But the historic character of the stadium has not changed. The Oklahoma Sooner and Texas Longhorns meet up for the rivalry game next Saturday, October 11th. Now, after this, we are going worldwide, and we will get you caught up with everything you need to know before your lunch break is even over. So don't go away. We will be right back. Welcome back to KXII 12 News Now. We are taking a look at the news beyond Texoma before we bring it all back home. Starting off, federal authorities are trying to figure out what led to a scary plane collision at one of New York City's major airports. According to the FAA, a regional flight arriving from Charlotte, North Carolina, was taxiing to its gate last night when it was struck by another regional aircraft bound for Roanoke, Virginia. Both planes, operated by Delta Airlines, were going at a low speed at the time. No passengers were hurt, but one flight attendant suffered minor injuries and was taken to the hospital. England is still recoiling from a terrorist attack on the most holy day in the Jewish calendar. According to authorities, an assailant drove a car into people outside a synagogue in northern England. Then they began stabbing people, killing 2 and seriously wounding 4. Here is video from the day of. As we can see, people are trying to find their loved ones and partially recover after the incident. Officials have classified this as a terrorist attack. Police say they killed the suspect on Wednesday's assault. though it took authorities some time to confirm he was dead because he was wearing a vest that suggested he had an explosive. 2 other suspects were arrested. The Israel military has intercepted dozens of boats sailing as part of a aid flotilla towards Gaza. They've detained dozens of passengers, including Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg. This photo of Thunberg is from a social media post by Israel's foreign ministry. Here is a video provided by the Global Summit Florida showing the moment Israel forces boarded on the ships yesterday. In the video, Israel forces can be seen entering the ship with weapons drawn. Later, a member of the Israeli forces can be seen touching the camera, proving the feed is live, and then moments later, the feed ends. The minister said the passengers were being transported to Israel, where their deportation procedures to Europe will start. The Flota interception has triggered global condemnation. The Flota was trying to break Israel's 18-year blockade of Gaza and get aid into the war-ravaged enclave using ships that set sail from ports across the Mediterranean. Organizers labeled Israel's interception of the ships as an illegal attack on humanitarians. Israel, however, said the activists were not interested in aid, but in provocation. Thunberg was deported from Israel in June after another Gaza-bound aid boat she was on was also intercepted. I mentioned earlier that yesterday was the holiest holiday of the Jewish calendar, and that means it's Yom Kippur. The Jewish holiday began yesterday evening and continues until nightfall this evening. Known as the Day of Atonement, it is considered the most important and sacred of the religion's holidays. During Yom Kippur, Jewish people atone for their sins from the past year. The holiday concludes with closing prayers and the blowing of a shofar, a ritual musical instrument carved from the horn of a ram. Moving on into some news that you're going to want to know to talk about with people when you get off of work. Taylor Swift is about to enter her showgirl era. The singer-songwriter's new album will be available on all major streaming platforms when the clock hits 12:01 a.m. Friday. It's called The Life of a Showgirl, and it will also be sold on vinyl, CD, and cassette. This is Swift's 12th original studio album and her first since she became the owner of her entire music catalog. Today, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the gang are 75 years old. Charlie M. Schultz's Peanut comic strip began October 2nd, 1950, just in 7 newspapers. For the next 5 decades, Schultz wrote and drew every Peanut strip. Now, that's not the only Peanuts who are in the limelight right now. If you're looking for some fun local activities to take advantage of this fall, the city of Whitesboro has announced the dates for their annual Peanut Festival. The celebrations will be taking place from October 16th to 18th behind the Tender Smokehouse. Now, that's not the only fun happening around Texoma. Durant's free fall concert series continues tonight. It is happening at the Market Square. Bring your friends, family, and a lawn chair. You can bring food and drinks, but no ice chests are allowed. There will be concessions on site. Gates open at 6 tonight, and the music starts at 7. Now, if you've enjoyed this KXII 12 News Now, we will be here tomorrow, same time, 12:30, same place, our KXII live streams and YouTube Live. Now, want more KXII 12 today? Can't wait till tomorrow? I don't blame you. Well, later you can catch KXII 12 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 for more on what's going on in Texoma and beyond. For a deeper dive of any information from the stories we've covered today, go to KXII.com to find all of our full reporting. Also, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials. That is Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. There you'll find constant updates, exclusive content, and all of our stories, new and old. Well, until tomorrow, Texoma, I hope that you have a wonderful night. Maybe you go out and enjoy the Durant Music Festival. But until tomorrow, I hope you have a great day.